Thank you, Adam, for that inspiring message. We're honored to have our speaker today, Mr. Henry Rollins. Known to most of you as the front man for the punk rock band Black Flag and Rollins Band. Mr. Rollins has been taking the stage not just as a musician, but also speaking engagements all over the world. He has become an outspoken human rights activist and frequently speaks out on social justice on his spoken word tours and promotes equality. During the 2003 Iraq War, he started touring with the United States Service Organization, the USO, to entertain troops overseas while remaining against the war. Mr. Rollins is not confined to the stage. He has his own publishing company and record label, and who continues to be an outlet for his work and his passion. We're honored to have Mr. Rollins with us and thank the associated students for their efforts in bringing him here today. Mr. Rollins.
Good afternoon, graduates. An extended and heartfelt welcome to all the parents and relatives and friends who are gently roasting in the warm California sun as they watch their kids and relatives graduate today on this fantastic afternoon. It may sound a bit strange to you, but I'd like to thank you. I'd like to thank you for going to college. I'd like to thank you for taking years of your life and devoting it to study and the pursuit of knowledge. The world is in great need of people who can think, people who value ideas. For a moment, think of the person you were when you came here years ago as a freshman, or a fresh person, if you like, and then think of the one who's here right now. Of course, there was a large amount of good times, carrying on and engaging in behavior that we need not mention here. It is perhaps why the human brain is allotted such a vast amount of cells. So it's not a big problem when a few million fall off the back of the truck. But amidst all the fun and frivolity, there were infinitely long stretches of time where you had to hit the books and work in order to achieve. And there's no one there to tell you to keep at it but you. And you did it. And here you are now. As you know, you may not need every single course you ever took to get you through life. But the focus and the discipline that was required to complete these courses will be invaluable tools that you will utilize and that will hopefully benefit you and those around you for the rest of your life. Your education and the time you spent here must be more than merely the means to a good job and financial security. Those are certainly important concerns, but I'm hoping for much more from you. To come all this way only to become content cogs in a large machine or merely indistinguishable threads in a massive tapestry is not enough. It just isn't. I know that you are well aware of what is happening on planet Earth in 2009. Some say that we are in tough times. I believe we are in challenging times that are in need of bold thinking, fresh ideas, and new ways of going about old things. This is where you come in. The future greets you today, and you are a very big part of what will be. So, it is incumbent upon you to take all that you have learned and all that you have worked so hard to achieve and do something with it that is more than the mere gathering of items and the purchase of a home to put them all in. Because at the end of the day, that is a bit of a checked swing, isn't it? You don't want to retire into the dull roar that quickly and quietly, do you? I should hope not. It is interesting, the excuses people give when they tell me why they don't read as much as they used to, don't travel or inquire as much as they did years before. They tell me they got tired. The kids, the job, the drive to work, the grind, Not enough hours in the day, they say. When someone would tell the great philosopher Seneca that there weren't enough hours in the day, Seneca would reply that the gods had been quite generous in their time allotment, just that many people didn't use their time well. So, not a second of your life will you ever get back. Make every day count, or acquire a taste for regret. I don't understand how a mind that has been enlightened by years of study and immersed in an environment of such frenetic intellectual activity could ever suffer the crushing blow of complacency. I hope that none of you ever suffer from this self-inflicted, greatly compromised condition. Not only is it inexcusable, it is boring as hell and no fun at all. Your curiosity must never wane, ever. You are, therefore you want to know, want to go, want to know more, and want to go further. As college graduates, you know all too well how much there is to know and the incalculable amount of fascinating things there are to explore, from thought to geographic destination. It is your curiosity that you must enhance, strengthen, and value more and more as the years go on and on. It is your curiosity that you must guard against exhaustion, apathy, and that awful plague called middle age. You are allowed occasional but brief vacations from your curiosity. DVD box sets of television shows and carbohydrate-rich foods are permitted. But don't make a career out of it. It is your curiosity that you must pass on like a genetic trait to your children. It is your curiosity that you will infect all those around you like a virus. It is your curiosity that you will inspire the anger with of those who have chosen to admit defeat. One of the greatest words and most powerful words in any language is why. When you stop wanting to find out, you're done. There are few things more unendurable than being forced to spend time with someone in need of bright minds. Individuals who seek to spread peace and prosperity by the way they conduct themselves and the value they place on the lives of others and on life itself. These people, by the way of their concern and awareness, whether they know it or not, are leaders. You lead through kindness, generosity, tolerance, innovation, a quest for knowledge, and a basic, resolved goodness that is incorruptible, inexhaustible, and undefeatable. You do not lead by intimidation, by economic coercion, by overwhelming military might or sanctions. Brutality, oppression, and the constant threat of violence only results in brutality, oppression, and actual violence. And the world has far more than it needs. A member of the Ku Klux Klan doesn't need a frying pan upside the head. He needs an Al Green record. He needs some good books. He needs better information so he can make better decisions and reach better conclusions. He needs to be inspired. He needs good leadership. You could do that for someone else. You could do that for a lot of people. And it might take a lot less and go a lot further than you think. If you've noticed, I keep mentioning the people and the world around you. I've been doing this because you are surrounded. You're surrounded by millions of square miles of land, billions of gallons of water, and who knows how many cubic feet of air. And you share all these finite and vulnerable resources with billions of people. Everything you do affects someone else, perhaps more than you realize. I'm hoping that you understand that your responsibility to yourself and your well-being must also include the planet on which you live and the people you share it with. because like it or not, it does. And now, it is time for my self-serving op-ed. Of course, everything I've said to you thus far has been merely my opinion, and you can take it for what it's worth. But I've been asked to speak to you today, and I will not allow myself not to say this to you on this very important day. It is my opinion that all wars are avoidable and unnecessary, and could have been prevented by more compassionate governance of peoples and the highest possible value put on life and human rights. I know that one day, war and torture will be relics of the past, that racial discrimination, homophobia, and other intolerance and ignorance will be looked upon as primitive, half-baked behavior that no one could ever be induced to repeat. I know that future generations will look back and wonder, what in the world were those people thinking? And from that history, which they will not repeat, they will understand that some of their duties as human beings are to pursue peace at all times, to make sure that famine and human suffering never return, and that the stewardship and care of the planet and its very delicate ecosystem is in everyone's best interest. But I am a very impatient person, and I cannot, will not, wait for these conclusions and actions to be part of some distant future. I want them to happen right now. Upon graduation, those 5 of you who do not own a passport, this time next week, I want you to have one. At the earliest time you can, go somewhere. Walk down streets the name of which you cannot pronounce, eat food with questionable ingredients, and dig music you can't snap your fingers to. And whenever you can, stick your hand out, say your name, and say, "Hi, I am," insert name here, "I'm from America, what's happening?" Because humans were born to move, and we got to mix it up more often. People got to come visit us, we got to visit them. Because when you do, and you come home with those great stories and those great experiences, war and intolerance become a thing of the past. Prejudice becomes a laugh because you know too much. History will become something we are doomed not to repeat, and progress in the future become ours. I travel all over the world when I can. I try to go to Africa every year. I try to go to Southeast Asia, Central Asia, South America, wherever I can, as often as possible. I walk down these streets, I extend my hand, I say, "Hi, I'm Henry, I'm from America, what's happening?" I've done this in everywhere from Iran to Syria, Lebanon, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, Brazil, Portugal, you name it, Turkey, Egypt, Madagascar. I can go on, because I think it's important. It's important to get this wisdom and this knowledge under your cap when you leave what you know is familiar and go out into that big, beautiful oyster that we share with so many fantastic people who can't wait to meet you. This is the way to progress, and I want you all to be a huge part of that, and I think that you will. And I think you're going to be great at it, because this world needs a restart. It needs new operating software and a radically new way of going about doing business, because the present model is unsustainable and no one's having enough fun for my liking. And I think that some of the decisions you will make and actions that you will take will make things better. You don't have to be a doctor or a hero to save a life, and you don't have to be a scientist to brighten the future. All you need to do is care and get involved, and I know you will. And I can't wait to see you act upon every ounce of your tremendous potential. This is a great day. It's your day, and so are all the ones to follow. Think you can handle it? I bet you can. The future is bright. I know this. I'm looking at it. Congratulations. Good luck.